9:03 in the morning on May 16th, 2025, and I am calling the Minnesota Senate Committee on Rules Administration to order. Welcome today. We have two issues before us. We have a late bill, Senator Frentz's Senate File 2884, and we have a Limmer bill, which is a corrections bill, not a late bill, and that will come second. So we'll welcome Senator Frentz first. And of course, Senator Frentz, as you know, because you're a member of the Rules Committee, that the purpose of your presence here is to explain why your bill is late.
I do, and thank you, Madam Chair and members. I'm here asking for you to suspend concurrent resolution number 4 enough to let Senate File 2884, the omnibus pension bill, proceed. Madam Chair, members, it's late for a couple basic reasons. As you know, the bulk of the pension work relates to any pension benefit improvements. That really can't take place until we have the joint pension targets. That was, of course, not known to the legislature until yesterday morning. That's the primary reason it's late. I'm glad to report, members, we also did put some of it through State Gov and sent it to Finance last week. That is what I would consider some of the non-controversial and technical aspects. So we have moved as much pension as we can. I would like the Rules Committee's permission to exempt this bill from the concurrent resolution number 4 and allow it to go forward. And if it matters, Madam Chair, and I'm apparently going to tell you whether it does or not, we have significant progress given the pension targets to make pension benefit improvements for public safety and educators. Probably, optimistically, agreements can be reached in the next 24 hours. So if you like cops, firefighters, paramedics, and teachers, I think all the members of the Senate are going to be able to report some good news soon. Thanks, Madam Chair.
Good morning, Senator Pappas.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair, and thank you, Senator Frentz, for being an outstanding Pension Commission Chair. This is a little backwards process, so I do have concerns. Typically, the Pension Commission would approve the bill, then it would go to state and local, then it would go to finance, and then proceed from there to the floor. I understand you're bind with not having a target. So this is a little backwards, but my understanding is that there still will be a Pension Commission meeting, hopefully tomorrow, so that the Pension Commission can review all these changes before we go to, maybe even before we go to finance. Senator Frentz, do you think that will happen?
Senator Frentz.
Madam Chair, Senator Pappas, first of all, thank you for the compliment on being a good chair. I would just say takes one to know one. As far as the process, the staff of the LCPR, as you know, we have outstanding nonpartisan staff, asked us to move it in this fashion in order to help save the staff time. Senator Murphy's mentioned in public a couple times that where we can help the staff get a little bit ahead, we want to do that. So that's why it's a bit unorthodox. I do think it's likely that there will be significant progress, if not a complete deal, in a pension hearing tomorrow. On the educator side, TRA has a board meeting today in which one of the agenda items might be something that's possibly able to move us forward. And on the public safety side, they are almost completely concluded. So while it is unorthodox, I appreciate the compliment. Hope I'll get your vote anyway, Senator Pappas.
Senator Pappas.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And Senator Frentz, one other issue just in behind the scenes conversations about using the 20 million portion of the target, that would be 40 million over 2 years, for a career rule for teachers. It's my understanding that for some strange reason, St. Paul teachers are not being considered as part of that deal. And they have their own career rule, which they've paid for themselves. And if the state is going to partially pay for a career rule for all the teachers in the state except St. Paul, I think that's a little bit unfair. So I hope that you would be incorporating then, I believe it's 1 million out of the 20 million that would then be available for St. Paul teachers.
Thank you, Senator Pappas. Madam Chair, I know we're here to talk about why the bill's late, but now that the issue of the merits has been touched on, just briefly, Senator Pappas, it's true that the 20 million per year for the educator part, which is a tentative agreement between public safety and educators, would represent about 5% or 1 million for St. Paul teachers if they were included. I will acknowledge, Madam Chair, that that agreement is not complete and that Education Minnesota, on behalf of all the teachers in the state, including those from the great city of St. Paul, and other voices are being heard. I think that'll be hammered out today, but I can't tell you for sure that there's agreement, and the other 19 million would be used in conjunction with possible help from TRA to fund a significant career rule for educators. That is our ultimate goal. That's the news we want to deliver. Stay tuned, Senator Pappas. Happy to have your further advocacy. Since I last talked to St. Paul teachers and TRA, it's been about 4 minutes.
Senator Pappas.
Thank you. Just one final comment, Madam Chair. Thank you, Senator Frentz. I know you're always a very fair chair and want everyone to be included, and so I trust that this will be resolved satisfactorily.
Objection. Just kidding,
Thank you,
Madam
Senator
Chair.
Pappas. Senator Frentz, anything more? Members, questions for Senator Frentz on the late bill on pensions? Senator Pappas.
I would, Madam Chair, I'd make the appropriate motion.
Senator Pappas moves the provisions of Senate Concurrent Resolution Number 4 be suspended for all further proceedings on Senate File 2884, and that the previous committee report be adopted and sent to Finance. Are there questions? Seeing no questions, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And those opposed, say no. And the motion is adopted.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, members.
Thank you, Senator Frentz. Senator Limmer with the corrections bill. And members, as Senator Limmer is joining us, this is the first hearing for this bill, which is our standard here as we near the end of the session. Senator Limmer, welcome, and please proceed.
Thank you, Madam Chair. You are correct. Senate File 3515 is the corrections bill. It's an annual bill, as most of you know. This is the vehicle bill for corrections to any bill that has passed both bodies during the 2025 session this year. It's a little different than the reviser's bill that was passed earlier this year. Changes in this bill might have substantive effect. However, any amendments to the bill must be approved by not only myself, Senator Latz, and then corresponding members of the other body. Be assured that all proposed changes are properly approved and checked before they would go to the Senate floor. And our effort is to move the bill to the Senate floor. And the reason why it's late, Madam Chair, is the reviser's office has been extremely busy this year. And as a result, this was not as high a priority on their list as live legislation that affected the course of committees. So that's why we're here at this time.
Thank you, Senator Limmer. And officially, I don't believe this is a late bill, but I understand why it's coming here. Thank you, Senator Limmer. I just want to say officially this is not a late bill, but it's here, at this hour because of the work that we're doing and the timing. So I appreciate that. Are there questions? All right. Thank you, Senator Limmer. Senator Johnson will move that Senate File 3515 do pass and be referred to the floor. Any questions on that motion? Seeing no questions, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 And those opposed say no. That motion is adopted. Thank you, Senator Limmer. And before we go, I just would like to turn to Ms. Stengel to talk a little bit about the administrative work of this committee that is before us, I think, once we're done with session or as we're nearing the end of session.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As usual, I think, in speaking with Chair Murphy, there is likely to be a rules hearing post-session to consider to adopt the Senate employee roster, to look at Senate travel issues, so the interim travel update, interim travel memo, and then any additional employee deferred compensation match and things like that, the traditional things that are usually done post-session.
Thank you, Ms. Stengel. Any questions about that? That is just, forecasting what we're going to be doing. See no further questions, then this morning our meeting is adjourned. Thank you.